Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the unofficial sumo podcast for official sumo fans. This is Mac.
This is Ryan.
This is Jake.
This is Flurk.
And this is our recap of the 2026 Haru Basho, where we have three-time Yusho winner now Kirishima, second-time OZEKI promoted Kirishima. We will get into all of the details first. But before we dive into that, we do want to say, hey, if you enjoy our podcast, want to support the podcast, feel free to sign up for our Patreon. We talk about all that we offer on the preview episode. So anybody that is able to contribute, we greatly appreciate it. But also, it's not necessary. You don't get any extra content.
Do it if you want to.
Do it if you want.
It'd be
You
nice.
can talk to us if you like.
Yeah.
It'd be swell, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Worst pitch ever.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Well,
Just being honest here. We're not trying to make a living with this.
let's see if we can do a better job plugging other things than ourselves.
Why, I could say we have a fantastic beverage out there now.
Yep, that's right. Got to plug Flix Brewhouse. We've mentioned it on the last couple episodes, but yes, we helped them brew OZEKI, and by help I mean we helped lift things here and there while they
Grind
told us how it
things,
worked.
stir things, boil things.
But yeah, go check out OZEKI Japanese Rice Lager at Flix in Des Moines. And what was the other one?
Round Rock.
Round Rock. That's right, down by Austin, Texas. But yeah, it's Mac. Tell us, you were swinging by Flix the other day, right? And they said that they were doing okay.
Yeah, no, I went by to pick up some crawlers for the weekend so I can watch the last few days of the tournament. And I had said, hey, give me some crawlers of OZEKI. And all the people behind the bar said, good choice. We talked about it a little bit. And apparently the staff loved it, at least in the Des Moines location. The staff had loved it. One of the managers was there. He really liked it. So it's going fast, apparently. He said, when it's gone, it's gone. And they just can't keep it up. It's fantastic. So go out and try it while supplies last.
Yeah, I love how you say that. At least in the Des Moines location.
At least in the Des Moines area. I don't have any metrics from the Round Rock area.
But yeah, if you are local, go get some. That will help us make the argument to do it again sometime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Other big plug, we got to plug the GSB official T-shirt vendor, Cheeky Sumo.
Cheeky Sumo!
Me and Ryan remembered our T-shirts today.
I spilled hot sauce on mine, so it's in the wash.
Me and who, Jake?
Oh!
Yeah, Tsukebito Jake and Yokozuna Ryan remember
right.
to wear their Yokozuna vendor Cheeky Sumo stuff.
I might let it slide if Mac and Flarik lose and not enforce it too much. But
Not
if I
me.
win and you lose,
No, this is the perfect storm.
me. Yeah.
No, this is gonna be a rough episode for me.
Ooh, a rare Renly sighting.
Ooh.
Yeah, usually you get the other cat. Anyway, Cheeky Sumo. Go check them out, cheekysumo.com. That is the official site for GSB t-shirts. Yeah, okay, stays with me because we got Amateur Sumo next.
Yeah, amateurs up next.
The big one is next weekend is Nationals in Las Vegas. Go to ussumo.org for more stuff. If you haven't signed up or got your flights, it might be too late, but you should probably try anyways. I'm excited to meet the Cheeky Sumo folks in person there, but we will be having our national meeting. We'll be having open mat, stuff like that on Friday, and then on Saturday, the 28th, is the tournament itself. Keep an eye on ussumo.org for more details on that front. Let's see. And then I suppose now that it is close enough, we should probably start plugging the next stuff that's coming up. On June 6th, we just heard it was just made official that the Sakura Cup is returning to Nashville for the third year in a row.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, we'll have some more info on that, but that is the Tennessee Sumo Association putting that one on. Other stuff that's coming up soon on April 11th, we have the Rain City Open in Seattle, second annual one up there. I was able to make it last year, and that was a blast. So yeah, keep an eye on them. Let's see, April 24th, we have the Rollertown Sumo Showdown. I don't see Gagamaru on the poster, but I assume he'll be back again. But this is their fourth one of those in a row. Let's see, I already said it, April 24th. And then the only other one I got on the calendar so far, May 9th, is the 26th annual U.S. Sumo Open in Los Angeles. So ussumo.org for all the information on those. Go check them out.
And the
then-
last plug that we've got before we dive into the meat of this basho is we want to recommend the Sumo Spiffy channel. He's been doing videos for quite a while as well. His main things that he does is he does a breakdown of all 42 rikishi before and after each basho, kind of predicting what a range of wins they're going to be in every tournament. And he's also does a lot of Bansuke predictions like myself. So if you want a second source for Bansuke predictions, go to Sumo Spiffy, but of course, stick with GSB for your number one source of Bansuke predictions. But I was featured in one of his videos, the sumo tier list for the March Basho, where we predicted how every rikishi would do. And so make sure you check out his March 2026 sumo tier list recap when that is up. See how I did head-to-head with Sumo Spiffy's predictions for all 42 rikishi in the top division. With that being said, let's go to our full results for the Haru 2026 Basho. As we mentioned, Sekiwake Kirishima with a 12-3 record picks up his third career Yusho. That will turn into an OZEKI re-promotion for him. We'll get into that a little bit more later. We've got two June Yusho winners. We've got Yokozuna Hoshoryu with 11-4 picking up his sixth career June Yusho. The June Yusho have been rolling since his Yokozuna promotion, but still searching for that elusive first Yusho as a Yokozuna. And joining him for June Yusho is Maegashira 5 Koto Shoho, also going 11-4, picking up his second career June Yusho. We've got a handful of special prizes that were handed out. The Gino Show Technique Prize, much to Flaric's dismay, but somehow not losing dismay this basho, is Maegashira 2 Fuji no Kawa, picking up his first career Technique Prize, his second special prize overall. You've got to imagine that back-to-back Kinboshi are a very big part as to why he picked that up.
He was also like really hucking fools. Like it wasn't
was
just
hucking a lot of fools.
He wasn't winning by accident on the ones that he did win.
No. And then the Shukunsho Outstanding Performance Prize goes to our Yusho winner, Sekiwake Kirishima, picking up his first career Shukunsho prize, but his ninth special prize overall. And the Kanto Show Fighting Spirit Prize, we had two given out, one to Maegashira 5 Koto Shoho. Excuse me, his third career Fighting Spirit Prize, his fourth special prize overall, and also Maegashira 13, Makuuchi debutante Fuji Seiyun, picking up 10 wins, gets his first career Fighting Spirit Prize, and obviously his first special prize overall. So this is something that we discussed on the Midway episode that is stupidly going to be a new tradition for Grand Sumo Breakdown. We are going to be awarding the first ever Inu Show prize. This is the Who Got Dat Dog prize. And there is a couple of rules for this. In order to be eligible for the Inu Show prize, you can't have won any of the prizes we just listed beforehand. Yusho, June Yusho, or any other special prizes, because otherwise it would just be, yeah. For the
those of
YouTube
you
watchers, you just saw my cat try to jump into his house that is right behind me, and the house fall over on the ground. So, Jake, could you please explain the rules while I fix that situation?
Oh, that's a bummer because I'm the only one who apparently did not see that happen.
Oh, it was hilarious.
I was looking over my data that I had gathered for our Who Got That Dog prize. No, I don't think we're going to make this all that complicated. It's just like Fighting Spirit prize, I guess, for people who didn't do very well, I guess is kind of how I am looking at this one.
Well, it's one of those that we've talked about it on other segments from past shows as well. It's
Far
like,
too much.
Who gave the best effort, even though they didn't win? Maybe they had a losing record or they got snubbed for a prize. Who showed the most fight throughout the tournaments? And we talked about several guys. We've like, okay, that should have been great. That should have been great. Well, doggone it, GSB is actually going to do something about it.
Doggone it.
See what I did there?
So it sounds like you're describing the Fighting Spirit prize, but
yeah, but you gotta have a little bit. You gotta have that little bit of extra. You gotta have that little bit of extra effort. You gotta have that dog in you, and you see it. You know it when you see it. So
is this another Taskmaster thing to see who can say dog the most?
Maybe. But we each of us before we started recording nominated a Rikishi for Who Got That Dog, and our nominees are Gonoyama, Haku no Fuji, Hira de Umi, and Wakamoto Haru. We are trying to focus on people that didn't have the best of Bashos, but they're still trying their damnedest. Like we were close to nominating Atami Fuji, but Atami Fuji was fighting for a special prize on day 15. If he had won, he would have gotten a special prize, and if he had that dog in him, he would have won that match and gotten a special prize. So obviously, Atami Fuji cannot be nominated for the Inu show.
Yeah.
So I already went over the nominees, did I not?
Right. I was just going to talk about my nominee, Gonoyama. Yeah, he did end up with 10 wins, but he was definitely struggling towards the end of the Basho as people were able to get his belt. If you don't get his belt, then he's all over the place. He's wilding out on people, but the results didn't follow through in week 2 as much for him. He got 4 straight losses, but every single time, to quote Mac, doggone it, he tried.
My nominee, Haku no Fuji, he had that toe injury, took him out after the first day, came back on day 7, ended up winning 5 of his 9 matches, going 5-4 after he came back. So showing a lot of determination and grit in order to get those wins to stay in the top division and make sure his fall doesn't go too far.
And my nominee is an oldie but a goodie, is Hira de Umi. I just love watching this guy fight. He gives 110% every single time he steps into the ring. He's just fun to watch.
Yep. And Wakamoto Haru, well, if you go the first 7 days and not win a match, if you're still sticking it through, you got some grit, you got some determination. And you know what? You stick it through, you might just have a sick Uchari on day 9 against Hira de Umi.
One of the sickest moves of the entire Basho for sure. And not the only time he attempted it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It is one of the moves that he does more than almost anybody else. And he absolutely nailed one.
All right. Let's vote for our Inu show. I'll just name one and raise your hand if you want to vote for them. So we'll start with Gonoyama.
One vote?
I'm the only one voting for Gonoyama, and he wasn't even mine. All right, Haku no Fuji.
Do we only get one vote?
Yeah, I think we only get one vote.
All right, then then I'm good.
Hira de Umi. Wakamoto Haru. Okay,
there you go.
Got that dog.
It's the only thing he's going to earn.
I guess we're killing this
record.
thing after just one Basho. We're giving it to the guy with a 3-12 record.
Yokozuna Ryan doesn't get his way one time. It's not a special prize for results, man. It's not about the 3.
I don't think Keith was fighting all that great either.
It's not about fighting great either. That's not what we're basing this on.
But he was still there. He was still there, Ryan.
Fighting his pathetic ass off.
He put
every
in a
single day.
He put in 9 to 5.
I love that expression, especially for a sumo wrestler, because they kind of do like 10 seconds of work a day.
Oh no, it's probably like 10 hours of just like.
I know, like with training, with everything. Yeah, but
no, like the day of, like like you have to go there, you have to like ride your bike to the Koguki Con, you have to get your hair done. That's probably at least a 2-hour thing to get to do. It's no simple process.
It's a long day. Yeah. Real 9 to 5.
And then you have to hold
the
babies
real 9 to 5
to make babies not cry. It's it's a lot.
Pretty sure they want babies to cry, but yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Let's talk more about Kirishima, our Yusho winner. His first Yusho since November of 2023 when he went 13-2 as an Ozeki. How are we feeling just overall about leaving this Basho with a Kirishima win? I was feeling a lot better about it on day 13 when he was 12-1, but I'm happy. I'm very happy overall with the Kirishima win. I'm a big Kirishima fan. Been really hoping for his re-promotion to Ozeki, and that is all but assured at this point. But just the way the Basho, the last couple days of this Basho, just kind of left a real sour taste in my mouth. Like Kirishima secures the Yusho on day 14 because he lost, but his other people that were fighting for the tournament
Also lost.
And then
Real
he follows
dumb way
it
to
up.
clinch it.
Right.
He follows it up with another loss on day 15. So that left a sour taste in my mouth for the Basho overall, but Kirishima as the winner. Happy about that. What are your guys' thoughts on Kirishima as the winner of this Yusho?
Same, man. That was kind of anticlimactic. Hoshoryu was he 2 losses behind the entire time? Like at least
No,
throughout
he was
here?
one back until his match with Kirishima.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So if he had
And-
won that, he would have.
That's right. That was day 12.
Tied it
So
up.
yeah.
And then even after that, if he hadn't have lost to Kotozakura on day 14, could have forced a playoff.
Yep. Day 15 would have still been in play, but yeah, I mean, maybe it was just the last couple days then that I'm feeling this, but like, yeah, it didn't feel like Kirishima was being threatened. It also didn't really feel like he had. I mean, of course he earned it, but it didn't feel like he earned it as
too
hard.
fast, and the competition was fairly mediocre.
It was a weakened field.
And the other thing that I don't know if I was watching this in week 1, but certainly in week 2, Kirishima lost the Tachi a lot. And then on his back foot managed to recover and like slap people aside or get it into those like messy, trippy, spinny grapples that he is very good at.
Mhm.
But like he just, I don't know, man. I like Ono Sato just exploding people at the Tachi and winning matches that way. Like that's that, that Yokozuna sumo. But like Kirishima, I don't know. It's such a armchair quarterback thing to say, but like, yeah, he lost so many Tachi and just had to improvise to recover. It just didn't. It was impressive. It just wasn't as like climactic. It didn't feel like it was as fun to watch.
What you got, Flick?
I was just gonna. I think I'll go a little bit more in the happier side. Granted, the last couple days, that's true. Like it probably the wins weren't as cool, but his match against Hoshoryu, I thought was like just a banger of a match. Like the fact that that one had just so much hype going into it, and that coming out away from that was just kind of like, I'm gonna win this Yusho, I'm gonna get the rank back, and like he just looked dominant the entire time, not just this tournament, like the last couple. But I don't know. I came away very, very impressed with what was going on, and I granted he might not have like the offensive like I'm gonna dictate the match sumo, but like just tricky. I'm gonna respond to what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna win the match that way. It's completely valid. So I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was great. Give me more.
I definitely won't say that he didn't have fun matches to watch. I just sometimes I want my Yusho winner for the matches not to be that much fun. You know, I want the matches to be more dominant or more. I don't know. It's a contrast that not every Basho is the most fun Basho that's ever happened.
I think it's
feel like,
fair to say that this is a fairly mid Basho.
yeah,
Mid
maybe that's
to
what I'm
not
coming to
great.
grips with. Hey, it's great. Kirishima's going to be an OZEKI again. We're going to have 3 OZEKI for the first time in ages.
Yeah.
Not as long as you'd think, actually. I looked it up, like 2024. It's not that long.
Oh, was it like
Still,
when
okay. Ages
Hoshoryu was on his way up or something?
Something like that. I think
Whatever.
I'll look it up again.
It feels like it has been a long time to me, but maybe that's because I already kind of grouped Aonishiki in as Yokozuna already.
We'll get to that.
Yes, we will.
So yeah, I think happy with who won and what's going to come of that, but just the Basho as a whole just didn't have that je ne sais quoi.
A lot of injuries too.
Yeah,
a lot of
injuries.
injuries. And I do want to talk about like the final couple of days. So this is a very cherry picked stat, but it was a Japanese article that I read that cherry picked it, so I'm going to go with it. It's the first time in 44 years that a Yusho has been won because I think it's a Yusho has been won on day 14 because all Rikishi vying for the Yusho lost on that day, and the people who were trailing the Yusho leader fought after the leader lost that day. So there's a lot of ands and stuff to follow through with that. But the last instance was in 1982 when Yokozuna Chiyo no Fuji was 12-1, leading by 2 wins over Yokozuna Wakanohana, who was 10-3. Both would lose to their Ozeki opponents, giving the Yusho to Chiyo no Fuji. This has happened where like all the Yusho leaders lost on the same day, but the people chasing after the Yusho leader lost before the Yusho leader fought, so they had a lot less motivation to fight and win that match because they knew the Yusho was already in hand. I wonder how much of that came into play for Kirishima in his final 2 matchups against Aonishiki and Kotozakura, which he lost both. Maybe some, but who knows? This is also, as far as I can tell, only the 5th time that a Yusho has been won, with the winner losing on days 14 and 15, and that not going to a playoff. If it goes to a playoff, it's kind of saved because you have an extra match. It's exciting. Right. But if you lose on days 14 and 15 and doesn't go to a playoff, it's just ugh.
It's just disappointing. Yeah.
It's just disappointing. And just to kind of wrap all in with the disappointing, we'll get more into Aonishiki later, but he's part of this upcoming stat. We had 4 top division Rikishi that came into the Basho without ever having a losing record. Those were Onosato, who had no wins and pulled out. So his first losing record in 18 Basho. Aonishiki, who struggled throughout, got a 7-8 record, his first losing record of 15 Basho. Yoshi no Fuji had come in, never had a losing record. He goes 7-8, his first losing record in 12 Basho. And Fuji Ryoga, making his top division debut, had not had a losing record up to this point. So he gets his first losing record in his 7th Basho. So every single Rikishi that came into this tournament that had never had a losing record now has a losing record to their name.
Oh, that's all of them then.
That's all division. Of them.
Got it. Okay. There were exactly that many ongoing streaks that are now all snapped. Cool.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow.
Super happy for that.
So let's talk more about Kirishima and his historic re-promotion to Ozeki. The JSA Shimpan Committee requested that Chairman Hakaku convene an extraordinary board meeting to consider promoting Kirishima to Ozeki. The Shimpan department got together on noon of day 15, so this is even before Kirishima's match against Kotozakura. So they had their mind made up. It really didn't matter what was going to happen. And they obviously recommended the extraordinary meeting to discuss promoting Kirishima to Ozeki. Chief Shimpan Takadagawa Oyakata said, "We requested the chairman to convene a board meeting and he agreed. Winning requires both skill and luck. In Kirishima's case, he was an Ozeki, and even after falling in rank due to health problems, he remained at the top level. His sumo was good and he won the championship. I think he will do his best again." And despite ending with consecutive losses, Takadagawa would also say the biggest thing was that he won the championship, which I think, makes a lot of sense. I wonder if this was like a 12-3 June Yusho and like Onosato went 14-1. Maybe they make him fight one more Basho, but because he won the championship, that's different for them.
Yeah.
And just to note, it's not official yet, but no extraordinary meeting to discuss a Rikishi's promotion to Ozeki has ever resulted in that Rikishi not being promoted to Ozeki. So
sounds like that meeting isn't all that important
at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, not really. And then Chairman Hakaku, the head of the JSA, had some comments on Kirishima and said, "Isn't this the result of Kirishima's hard work? I think it must have been tough when he couldn't practice due to injury. His victory over Hoshoryu in this Basho was significant." And then he would go on to say, "Ozeki is not the final station, so I wonder if he can rise higher." So Hakaku has got some hopes for Kirishima. I'm not sure I'm necessarily on board with the Yokozuna dreams for Kirishima, but hey, he was only 2 or 3 matches away.
Let him dream.
End of 2024 and 2025. So
man,
who knows? Maybe it'll come to pass.
With all the grief Hoshoryu has gotten for potentially being promoted to Yokozuna early.
Oh, we'll get to some grief in a moment.
Buddy.
Oh, I know. But can you imagine if Kirishima got promoted 2 years ago or whatever that was, and then had the career that he did post that
and
promotion?
Then had the injuries? Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep. So just to talk about, this is the 3rd time in history that under the current like OZEKI demotion system, where a Rikishi has achieved the rank of OZEKI the hard way, where you have to get 33 wins over 3 Basho from, we're not going to say in the Sanyaku because Kirishima started his at Maegashira too, but at the top ranks.
At least the joy, yeah.
At least the joy. And there's a very different track for him to go down based on the history of this. Kaiketsu was the first Rikishi to do this. I believe it was in 1974. And he would hold on to the OZEKI rank for only 4 Basho until he was demoted back down to Sekiwake again. And then there was also the Terano Fuji track, where he would hold on to the rank for only 2 Basho, but that's because he was immediately promoted up to Yokozuna following a Yusho and a Jun Yusho.
A or B?
So, yeah, using GSB math and statistics,
he'll be okay.
Okay, so are we putting the over-under at 4 Basho, or are we going to say 3?
I think
Using GSB math,
based on the
3.
pattern, he retires.
Oh.
No, based on the pattern, he'll get promoted to Yokozuna, but only win like 4 Yushos or something. Right?
Okay.
So then you got to average between these two guys, right?
There we go.
0 on this end and 10 on this end. He'll be in the middle somewhere, right?
Well, I think Kaketsu finished with 2 Yusho in his career, I believe. So then he's got 3
6
more Yusho coming.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Kirishima, 3 more Yusho. You heard it here first.
That's right. We went to engineering school. That's right.
Any other thoughts on Kirishima and his re-promotion to OZEKI? I honestly had been cheering for it, but did not realistically think it was going to happen. He had just been struggling so much with the neck injury, and I think there was some shoulder injuries mixed in there as well. He would pop off for like an 11 win or 12 win Basho, but then he would like slide back down 6 or 7 wins, and it's just so back and forth. I didn't think we were going to get 3 in a row, so I'm very pleasantly surprised with Kirishima getting this OZEKI promotion, and really hopeful that he can hold it. He only held it for 6 Basho last time. He did pick up a Yusho in that time, and then he got hurt and was unable to regain the rank until 2 years later. So I'm really hopeful that we get a nice, longer, sustained run for Kirishima, even if it's a Kotozakura style run where he's just kind of maintaining the status quo. It's just nice having more OZEKI and Yokozuna up there.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of summed up my feelings, but yeah, me in particular, I know I've been a doubter, so yeah, a lot of crow for me to eat on this one, but excited for it. But yeah, like you said earlier, I think Hikaku's being a little optimistic with putting Yokozuna on the table there as a potential goal there. I definitely wouldn't pick that, but hey, I wouldn't have picked him to get OZEKI either. So
would alternative his goal just to kind of go Kataban then not Kataban the entire time?
I strive to do my best and get 8 and 7s a lot.
Yeah. I think Kirishima should strive to be a very mediocre OZEKI.
Yeah. But I strive to make the other Yokozuna look good.
Yes.
The key to being a mediocre OZEKI is that you're an OZEKI.
Yeah,
that's pretty much
yeah. You got to be an OZEKI.
I'm the
You get
worst
that
of the
parking
best
spot.
of the best.
Yeah. And hey, Kirishima now has 3 Yusho. Hoshoryu only has 2. He's got more Yusho than Aonishiki at this point. I think he has tied for the second most active Yusho with Mitakeyumi with 3, behind Onosato, who has 5. Always forget Mitakeyumi. He's got that one. Who are our other
he's
active?
still here.
Who are our other active Yusho winners? So we got
Tamawashi's got 2.
Tamawashi's got 2. Asanoyama has 1. Abi
Koto
has
Shoho.
1. Shodai has 1. Fucking Koto Shoho has 1. Daisho has 1.
That's right. Yeah.
How about that one?
There's a lot.
Let's
All
see.
right.
Anybody that's been demoted? I don't think so.
Takeru Fuji.
Oh, Takeru Fuji. That's right.
Yep.
We saw
you got,
him for a
Flair?
match. Yeah, it's I'm trying to just kind of wrap my head on the whole Kirishima, but yeah. Oh yeah, so I'm just very very excited is where I'm at, because this is kind of the level we saw of when he first got OZEKI. Is like this might be the next big thing, when there's kind of like we're just kind of who is going to be the next big person. He was definitely in the running for the entire time, and then he just unfortunately got injured. And I think why we're all kind of weren't being a doubt, or was like we had a lot of false starts, like prompts, is he back to where he was? And he just was not. But it seems like he was able to pull it together, and he's looking pretty good. So I'm kind of back to my previous excitement, and like maybe Yokozuna. It's gonna be hard to tell. Like it's you never know how sumo's gonna go. You never know. But I like his brand of sumo. I would be very excited to see him go forward.
Yeah, I think theoretically, in a world where Ono Sato takes time, heals, and rests his left shoulder, Hoshoryu gets over whatever is in his head that just does not allow him to be clutch anymore. Ever since he was super clutch in January of 25, where he secured the Yokozuna, he's been pretty anti-clutch in the times where it matters most.
Hey Ryan, though,
Yeah.
he beat Aonishiki. He finally got it.
Yeah, he did. He put some dirt
when
on
it
him.
didn't matter.
And it
Yeah,
didn't.
there was nothing on the line.
Well, actually-
Caliban for Aonishiki.
I was,
Right?
yeah,
I was on
there
the
you go,
line for
Flair.
Aonishiki. I don't know how much Hoshoryu put extra stank on the Kakenage because you're gonna be Kadoban now, bitch.
Well,
He was gonna get so much shit. Like if like he wins that match, and after like saying he doesn't train enough, he had the
Oh, yeah.
the
Trust
Trust
honor,
me, he's getting
the
plenty of
respect
shit
for the
otherwise.
Yo-
If he wanted to avoid shit, he would have beaten Kirishima. He would have beaten Kodo Sakura. He wouldn't have lost to Fujinokawa or Daisho.
let
Yeah, but,
Flair
like,
go.
this-
He's
not
got. He's
this
on a roll
exactly
here.
one right here, because for this one though, he's not gonna get shit for it though, which is important one.
It's like
Yeah.
I've got enough crow to eat right now. I don't need this one extra thing going into the next Basho. I
Yeah.
have to beat
But
Aonishiki.
but actually, seriously though, this is the thing that he was kind of holding him back the last couple of Bashos, was actually figuring out how to be Aonishiki. And like he purposely, when he came into this Basho, said, "I'm going to force myself to get some practice matches because I need more reps. I need to figure this guy out." And lo and behold, it paid off. Like he got the win. It granted, the asterisk is like people are gonna say Aonishiki is not, like, he's maybe slightly injured, but he was looking good towards the end of the Basho. But regardless, he got the win, and I think that's an important step and improvement in Hoshoryu, what he was working on this Basho.
Totally. Yeah, and Ryan, you mentioned Hoshoryu might not have had a whole lot to fight for. Aonishiki did, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aonishiki wasn't half-assing that at all. He was giving it everything he could, and for the first time in 6 tries, it wasn't enough.
Yeah. I just don't know how much was everything that Aonishiki could give. Like, how much could he give? We really don't know what his state is at
What he
this
was-
time.
What he was able to give was 99% of beating Hoshoryu.
Yeah.
Because that match really did come down to that last teeny tiny bit of leverage at the end.
Yep.
That was sick.
That was
Yes.
cool.
I'll
What
leave
a
it up.
what a good end of that match.
I'll leave it up to you guys. Since we're talking about the Hoshoryu Aonishiki match, Hoshoryu finally getting the win over Aonishiki. Who do we want to talk about first? Do we want to talk about Aonishiki going Kadoban, or do we want to talk about Hoshoryu and once again not winning a Yusho as a Yokozuna?
Which flavor of depressing should we do first?
Yeah.
Let's go with the guy that didn't train enough first. Let's
right.
put that one to bed.
Because we know the answer on this one.
We know
He's
that
just gotta
clearly. We
trademark.
clearly know the answer. So let's
Yeah.
just lead into that one.
So Aonishiki, Hoshoryu proved to be prophetic in the week leading up to the Basho. That guy don't train enough.
I feel like that might be a little strong, but
It's just a little.
When have we ever been known to talk in hyperbole on this podcast, Jake?
not a
Never.
single time ever.
Never once. But this is the first time that Aonishiki, as we mentioned before, has not only is it the first time that he's had a losing record, it's the first time that he's had less than 11 wins in the top division.
Oh.
The first time that he's had less than 10 wins as a Sekitori overall. This was one of the more shocking Bashos I feel like
Absolutely.
we've gotten for a while. Like, you've got a guy that's had a year of just nothing but 11 or 12 wins. He's coming off of back-to-back Yusho. He was just promoted to Ozeki, and then he comes into this tournament, whether injured toe or not, like, he still hasn't brought up the big toe as a reason why his sumo wasn't up to snuff. He's just saying, I'm not able to do my style of sumo. He might just be being a tough guy and not wanting to blame an injury. But take him at face value. This is just the first time that Aonishiki just looked like a guy. Everybody's had a chance to look like a guy at some point. Even Onosato, when he went 9-6 a couple of times, a couple of Bashos, he looked more just like a guy and not this unbeatable monster. This is the first time we've seen Aonishiki as a guy, and it's kind of a huge rug pull when this is a guy that, like I said, won back-to-back Yusho, is now OZEKI, is fighting for the chance to be Yokozuna promotion. So it's a hell of a time to be exposed as mortal.
Yeah. I've seen some debate online, and take this with a gigantic grain of salt because it's on Reddit. But there's at least a substantial amount of people out there talking about this as he's been figured out. And I personally want to make the very hot take that I don't think that's the case. I think this was like, yeah, he did get stood up from his normal, like, really low position. But, like, people have had a year to try that, and it never works. I mean, I think this is as clear-cut as ever of a case that, it's as clear-cut as ever that this is an injury issue, I think. Or whether it's mental or physical, something's wrong with Aonishiki. I don't think it's the case that everybody else just figured out how to beat him or something like that. I think that's nonsense. But, he's certainly done well under pressure in the past, like getting promoted to OZEKI, winning Yushos, things like that. So I don't necessarily think it's a pressure thing of getting promoted to Yokozuna.
He did mention the pressure this Basho was more intense than anything that he had before. But as you said,
understandable.
He's dealt with all that pressure before with very little issue.
Yeah, exactly. And he, the last couple Basho, it's like, I'm going to face almost all the same guys, and this time they happen to beat him. The one obvious thing is that big toe, and yeah, we've done it to death already. But a big toe injury is very, very critical to sumo performance.
I think the only thing that shakes my confidence just a little bit, he'll bounce back. I know he'll bounce back, but
of course,
what didn't make sense was the field didn't change. He's beaten all these guys before. There wasn't anything new. He's fought them all. He's beaten at least several of them. It's like, not several of them. He's beaten many of them.
So all of them except for Onosato.
Yep. Yes, thank you. But this was just a gut punch.
Yeah, I think that's a really good, just as a fan of sumo and fan of Aonishiki. Yeah, this was a real gut punch. Not saying anything about the guys, just as a fan, like, man, that really sucked to see. Like, I honestly had expectations. Like, yeah, why wouldn't he win the Yusho and be promoted to Yokozuna? And for it to just kind of turn out like this, I think gut punch is a great way to say that, Mac.
Yeah. I just want to. I agree. It definitely wasn't what you want. If it wasn't for the Kirishima OZEKI promotion, I just would have been very big despair.
Oh, imagine if Kodo Shoho won this one too.
No.
He was knocking on the door.
He Shut up.
Yeah, but I do want to just kind of say I do definitely agree with you, Jake. But I do think there's a little bit of maybe starting to get a little bit figured out. I think maybe it's just. I think there is a little bit of people trying different things, and some things are working. So, but I definitely agree he wasn't doing his normal brand of sumo, either because he was trying something new or injured, probably injury.
Yeah, I would say I think, Mac, it was you who said, like, yeah, I have the full confidence he's going to come back next Basho and absolutely crush it, and this Kadoban isn't going to be a big deal. But then the only thing that I hesitate with is that's how I felt about Kirishima. After he was promoted to OZEKI, He had a 13-2 Yusho, followed it up with an 11-4 Basho, and then he went 5-10 in the next tournament. I'm like, that's fine.
He's fine.
That's fine. Kirishima's been killing it. He will clearly come back in the next Basho. And what does he do in the next Basho? He goes 1-5 and then pulls out, and he's demoted down to Sekiwake. And it's like, well, he'll come back now and he'll win. And then he goes 8-7, and then takes him 2 years to come back the hard way. So that's the I
get it. Normally, I understand your hesitation with that.
Yeah, normally I would say Aonishiki 100%. I'm not worried about him. I'm a little worried. Like this could linger, could be something that lingers if it is an injury. I don't think it will, but there's just a little part in the back of my head that's kind of panicking a little bit for Aonishiki.
Yeah, I think two comparisons we could make right now are Onosato and Takeru Fuji. to the other two guys that made the quickest possible promotions to this stage of things. And Takeru Fuji, I mean, I think on some level you could make the argument that he's less technically focused than the other two guys out of these three that I'm talking about. But he still won that U show right away and looked insanely dominant through all of it. But injuries, what started as, oh, he's gotten injured once, but this is going to be one of our next big guys, right? He got injured once. He'll be okay. And now he's like barely squeaking by in Juryo. Probably still due to some amount of injury for sure. But point is, even if it's injury, even if it's not something systemic that is a major long-term problem for Aonishiki, even if it is just a big toe injury, that could be more than a one Basho derailment.
Yeah, I do think, though, that usually back injuries are a little notorious for sticking around than big toe ones.
Sure.
But I think it depends. It's a gradient, right? Depends how severe the injury actually is.
Definitely.
We'll wrap up the Aonishiki conversation with a couple of quotes from Aonishiki himself. So when asked about the reason for his poor performance, he said, "If I had known that, I think I would have won."
Wow, snarky. I love that.
A little bit.
I absolutely love that quote.
What a stupid question. How dare you stupid people talk to me? Go be stupid somewhere else, you idiot. But he did it politely.
Yes.
He would go on to say, "I had an experience I'd never had before, and I learned what it feels like to be disappointed. I want to become even stronger so that I don't have those kinds of experiences again. I'll do my best in the next tournament." So
losing really sucks.
yeah,
Guys, this sucks.
especially losing when you were one Basho away from Yokozuna. It just goes to show how hard it is to reach the peak that it requires to win a U show and get to this level, but then to maintain it to the level that you can get that Yokozuna promotion.
Yeah.
Even somebody like Aonishiki, who has done nothing but go up in his career, finally hit that wall.
Yeah, and there's some level of the things that help you win sumo matches are also the things that put your body at risk of getting hurt more. And yeah, that's I mean, again, I'm still sticking with the theory that this is physical. But yeah, the harder he tries, the harder he hits, the more severe of twists and turns and trips and throws and all that stuff puts his body at risk of getting hurt. And yeah, he's been riding that tiger for a while. And if this moment is where he, for the first time, like starts to worry about getting hurt or makes this injury worse by trying to power through it or something, yeah, it could be bad. But I don't know. I'm not ready to get off the train just yet by any means.
No. Oh God, no. Got to imagine this is a blip. Got to hope it's a blip. So let's talk about our Yokozuna. We had talked on the midway. He was one win behind Kirishima at the midway, and we were saying, kind of, this should
Now's
be
the time.
Hoshoryu's
Now's
to win.
the time.
Ono Sato, he is out injured. Aonishiki is clearly not himself. You are the Yokozuna. You are the highest ranked guy and you're in contention. You're one win behind. And things were looking pretty good for Hoshoryu. Going into day 12, he was one win behind Kirishima, would go into a matchup against Kirishima, which he would lose. And then he had a chance on day 14. Kirishima lost. If Hoshoryu won that match, he would still be in contention going into day 15 if Kirishima would happen to lose his final match, which Kirishima did, and Hoshoryu lost to Koto Zakura in that match. So Kirishima had Hoshoryu had multiple chances to take control or at least be a lot closer in contention than he ended up being. I mean, he loses by one match ultimately, but he was still out of this essentially after that loss to Kirishima. As a Hoshoryu fan, it's disappointing. It's just like kind of same story, Basho after Basho at this point. He is good enough to get to the point of contention. But like we said, he's been Jun Yusho King since he was promoted to Yokozuna. In the 5 tournaments that he has finished as a Yokozuna, he's won the Jun Yusho in 4 of them, which shows that he can get into position, but he cannot pull the trigger at the end. He lost back-to-back playoffs. One against Aonishiki, who Aonishiki has historically had his number, but he also lost the playoffs against Onosato, who he's always had Onosato's number. So I start to get worried about my boy. And like we had some quotes on the preview about him talking about the pressure as a Yokozuna to win is absolutely immense. And you have to imagine that that's pressure playing a role a bit on Hoshoryu. So we had mentioned some not so great comments coming Hoshoryu's way, and they are coming from the tippy top. They are coming from Chairman Hakaku, who I think hates Hoshoryu. So here are quotes from Chairman Hakaku. Hoshoryu was no good. Yesterday's sumo, his loss to Koto Sakura, was his worst. A Yokozuna who allows a 12-win Yusho is no good. He needs to reconsider his tenacity. In the first half of the Basho, he lost to opponents who had nothing going for them. Fujinokawa and Daisho, who both beat Hoshoryu, I believe, by just slapdowns. Yeah, Hataki Komi.
Yeah, Hataki Komi.
He needs to rethink his mental game. And then Hakaku would go on to say he needs to develop one signature style. His tachi is different every time. He should standardize his tachi. Whether he tries to get an overhand grip, an underhand grip, or pulls, there isn't one thing he can do that works. So when he's not in form, nothing he does works. He might win 10 matches like that, but that's the problem. And then there's so that was Chairman Hakaku after day 15. I do have an additional quote from Chairman Hakaku after Hoshoryu's day 14 loss to Koto Sakura. It was a pathetic way to lose. He wasn't fully motivated.
Okay, this guy definitely has a bone to pick with Hoshoryu. That was me.
This guy has promotion regret.
Seems
like you're the one who promoted him. You needed to get your stamp of approval. Jake, I saw you shaking your head quite a bit. What are you thinking?
I'm looking up prior Yokozuna just I'm just looking at old stats to like remind myself of how like fine Hoshoryu is. Like Chairman Hakaku, he got 8 Yusho in his career. Yep. Let's see, he retired in 92. He retired like 5 years older than Hoshoryu is. And he had 5 more Yusho than him. That's fine. Oh, you're right. Hoshoryu only has the 2.
Yep.
He's fine. Like so one of my favorite things on Sumo DB is right on their front page they have list of Yokozuna. So yeah, I'm just scrolling through and like Kakuryu got 6. Kisuno Sato got 3.
2.
But yeah, you go 2. That's I know how to read. I know what numbers look like, Ryan. Just because you're Yokozuna doesn't mean you have to get on my case. But well, like let's go back to the 80s. Asahi Fuji got 4 in his career. Ono Kuni got 2 in his career. Hokuto Umi got 8 in his career. And then we're back to Futahagaro, and we don't need to talk about that one.
No.
But yeah, like other than like Chiyono Fuji and Taiho, like you go back to the most of the 20th century and like 3 or 4 Yusho in a career is like fine for a Yokozuna. So like to me, I don't know. Whenever people are zooming in too much, in my opinion, I kind of just like look back at history and be like, oh, never mind. We're upset in the short term because we need to talk about stuff, but like he's fine.
I want to go back to what Chairman Hakaku was saying about his style. He needs one signature style because he's saying he's trying all these different tachi, he's trying all these different moves, and they're not working. The guy still gets double-digit wins. I know it's not sealing the deal, but it shows how he's adapting to his opponents.
That is his style of sumo.
Exactly. That is his style. I don't know. I think he's being too harsh on him.
I think my guess is what Chairman Hakaku's point is like, yeah, when he's not in form, like nothing he does works. He might get like 10 or 11 wins, and that's the problem. The problem is he does good enough with that to get to 10 or 11 wins. But when you're Yokozuna, good enough isn't good enough. And so I think Hikaku's saying he needs to find a way of sumo that he can win with consistently so that he can't just skate by with this, okay, through you at the Twar, I win. Kind of wins a lot.
Oh no. All right, got him.
I got it.
Like if this is good enough for him to skate by, he's not going to focus on working on getting a signature style that he knows he can win with every single time. That's the point that I think Hikaku's making. I think he's being a little bit of a jerk about it, but I don't think he's necessarily wrong. He's not. We can't just completely.
No, that's
just
fair.
say, oh, he's an old curmudgeon. We don't listen to what he said. I do think.
Yes, I can.
He has a point.
Yeah, it's kind of like the jack of all trades, master of none argument he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I feel like of where it's like if you work on one dominant style, so even if they know what you're doing, like you can't stop it, which is probably the ideal of sumo you want to get to. And if you're at the very top, you ideally can be. Yeah. But yeah, I think it just kind of really depends on like the body type and the brand of sumo. Like Ono Sato can definitely get that thing. You know what he's going to do, and when he's good, he's going to win the entire time. And and Hoshoryu is like he never really had. I think he's gone closer to that where he just has overpowered people at the Tachiai, where he's just like, oh wow, if he just does that every time, it's going to work out great. But I think it's like I think everyone wants to win. And I think what Hoshoryu is like, he's doing what actually makes him win most of the time is not doing the exactly same thing because it's probably not working for him. So I think I agree. Like what he might have a point, but the person who wants to win the most is Hoshoryu, and I think this is what is kind of working for him. So I think this is kind of what he has to do for the most part.
Yeah, when I zoom out too far and look at just history, like that can be. That's not necessarily 100% the right take either. I don't want to get on that too hard, but like, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating to me how much pressure goes on the Yokozuna to perform every single match. But at the same time, if Hoshoryu could just get it together and stop giving up one or two Maegashira losses in week one, he'd have like 3 or 4 more Yusho by now. So yeah, of course there's something there. Like maybe he needs to work on, being less of that cagey, adaptable, all over the place wrestler in the first week when he's facing what should be his weaker competition. But yeah, it's so frustrating to look at his record and see that his losses are pretty evenly distributed across the entire Basho, despite the competition supposedly being much harder in week 2. So like that's a little bit frustrating. And yeah, I can understand wanting him to try things differently, but yeah, at the same time, he's gotten to the pinnacle of the sport doing what works for him, even if it's not as good as some of the other people at the pinnacle of the sport potentially.
I think he's kind of hit up against what we're all kind of hitting up against is where he's so close to being like that dominant, like 15-0 Yokozuna. Because like the fact that he hasn't won the Yushos, but he's been in like he's gone Junior show after Junior show, and like when like his like contemporaries are like getting injuries and coming out, he's always there. And it's usually someone else that kind of beats him in the Yusho at the end. It's like always a different opponent, but he has been staying that consistent for the most part. And so everyone's just kind of like, oh, if you just did a little bit differently, you could be that person. It's just everyone has a different idea of what that's going to be. So, but yeah. I think my big take over this is like it's kind of upsetting, but with another Jinyu show. But this is building. I think he's figured out hopefully the matchup against Aonishiki. I think he's still kind of growing, and I think once he gets to that top, he's going to be really, really a sight to behold.
I hope so. All right. I think let's move on to some of our quick hits. We've mentioned Koto Zakura a couple of times, and hey, got to give Koto Zakura his flowers. He finally got through the 9-win ceiling. He got to 10 wins this Basho. I honestly thought he was going to hit 8 wins on day 12 where he beat Gonoyama. I was just going to coast the rest of the way out like he has every other tournament for the past year, and started off well with a loss to Aonishiki, who at that point was 5-7. So I'm like, yeah, here we go. Here's Kotozakura. He got his 8 wins. He's just gonna coast away to 8-7. His rank is secured. But then he comes back on day 14. He beats Hoshoryu. He eliminates Hoshoryu from Yusho contention, and then he beats the Yusho winner on day 15 to pick up his 10th win. So good for Koto. He was never really in Yusho contention, but it's nice to see Kotozakura getting at least 10 wins here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd love to see him in Yusho contention more often, but doing double digits and I don't know. I was about to say spoiling it for people trying to fight their way up, but
Nah.
Kirishima already won by the time that he faced him, so that didn't really matter. He did put Gonoyama back in his place, Takanosho back in his place.
Yep.
Those guys were both kind of in the running for a while. He beat Atami Fuji, which that win looks better and better as the Basho goes on.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. He did good. Good for him. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him in the Yusho race ever. That'd be great.
I think we jinxed Takayasu on the preview episode where we brought up like his 10-year history of dominating at the Haru Basho, and something happened to him around day 6. He lost to Wakataka Kage. He would win on day 7 against Daisho, but then he lost his next 7 matches, ending up 6-8 before he beat Atami Fuji, which is fairly impressive. Atami Fuji's kind of turning into pretty impressive rickshaw at this point. And so Takayasu ends up with a 7-8 record, will be dropping down to Komosubi next Basho. There was one match, I don't remember which one it was exactly, where looked like he was hurt coming back up, and I think we know that he's had chronic back issues, and so my guess is that kind of flared up again.
Yeah, I think I have a theory that just about life in general that I think that I want to push a little bit. I think that everybody should have to be poor for a little bit of their life so that they can understand like how to live better, you know? Like for me, if I went through college in the year or two after and like I mean, I was in a stage where for years I knew exactly to the dollar how many dollars I had in my bank account, right? Like that level of poor, right? Like, hey, here's a check. Don't cash this today. Yeah. And I think that has helped me be better with money as an adult. I think everybody should be a Takayasu fan at some point in their lives to make them a better sports fan, to appreciate it, to understand and like, you know, become a more complete person. Because you can't just, it's not like the Matrix where you can just like plug into Neo's head and he goes like, I know heartbreak. Like it doesn't work that way. You have to go through the time of being a Takayasu fan to like really appreciate the highs and lows of sports.
Then Lawrence Fishburne just appears, show me.
And week 1 versus week 2 for Takayasu this time.
What's okay? So like you're plugging into the Matrix. You can learn anything. You can learn kung fu. Yeah. You can learn like a new language. You can like, no, teach me heartbreak.
Make me sad, but all at once, so I don't have to live with it forever. Of course, I would take that option. It's been 10 years of Takayasu fandom for me. Of course, I would rather have that be in like a bzz and like have it over with.
I think that just kind of sticks with you for the rest of your life, though.
It is so far.
Jake, as a Takayasu fan, how do you feel?
I don't know. I've been here before. I mean,
yeah, it does make you numb to the pain, and that there's something to that.
That's true. The highs and lows are like this when you start, and then they kind of go like this.
Yeah.
They mellow a little. No, I don't know. It was a perfect, and it was a microcosm of his career to go through this Basho, and it was a lot of fun while it lasted. And of course, as always, we get at least one like crazy, unexpected, great performance of day 15 beating Atami Fuji. But yeah, the 7 straight days before that were a little tough.
Atami Fuji, corner turned?
Yeah, maybe.
I think so.
I think so. Like, I'm looking at Atami Fuji the last 2 Basho, and I think Jake, it was some point late last year. I think you were just like, I'm out on Atami Fuji. Like I just don't think he's got it. I probably would have been right there with you, but I think I intentionally said I got enough blowback from saying that about Oho. I'm not making that statement again.
Yep.
So I'm glad I did it, because I think Atami Fuji is showing he might have the potential for OZEKI. Obviously, he was 9-6 this time, but this was his first Basho in the Sanyaku, and I think he proved to be a pretty good wall for the Maegashira Rikishi that were in contention. He did a very good job of dispatching them. He was very competitive against the rest of the Sanyaku, beating Onosato, beating Kotozakura, Aonishiki. I would say beating he did beat Wakamoto Haru, the inaugural winner of the Inu Show Prize. So that's another.
So did 11 other people. That the win isn't the important part.
But yeah, I think Atami Fuji, if he can keep this momentum from these past two Bashos, I think he has what it takes to become an OZEKI at some point in the next year or two.
Yeah, he definitely
or at least a Mitakayumi like.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what I was going to say, was somebody that could like be good enough to be in the conversation long enough to pick up a what do you call it, like a lifetime achievement award level of Yusho.
Get the 32 over 3, but then we're like, all right,
yeah, all right,
We're good.
Nah, guys. I don't believe this at all. No.
Really?
I don't know. There's something about his sumo is just, I think I am not like, he has some like points where he looks really good, but I think it's just sometimes this big boy being a big boy kind of thing, getting wins off that, which is
sometimes when you're the biggest boy, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but also like the top is getting pretty crowded. Like even like if he gets to Sekiwaki next Basho, which I'm pretty sure looks like he's going to be,
Yes,
right?
absolutely, no doubt.
Yeah, he still has 5 people ahead of him rank. There's a 3 OZEKI, 2 Yokozuna. Like it's gonna be tough, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
He beat both OZEKI this time.
What if we changed it to like the Mitakayumi perpetual Komosubi Sekiwake kind of Rikishi?
Ooh.
I could see that for a bit.
I think for me, it does seem like he has turned a corner recently with his use of his size. Well, yeah, of course, but like his use of his size, he like in the ring, he looks like he's more patient. What was I think it was on the midway. Did I say it like weaponized large or something like that? He's doing a better job of that, of just kind of like leaning into people and like, just patiently working them away, as opposed to, I don't know. He seemed to be a little more frantic in the past, a little bit more trying to actively take control and win every match. And this time around, it seems like he's a little bit more reactive, maybe, and that seems to be working for him pretty well.
Okay. Well, let's kind of do some comparisons with who like the whole like kind of continuous Sekiwaki position, right? Someone who's going to be in the joy consistently, like they're definitely top of the top, but they're just can't really get over to that hump to go OZEKI. I'm trying to think who his contemporaries would be in this. At least the young people, like
Daisho.
Like for a long, yeah. Daisho was for a very long time, but I would say he's kind of dropped out of being that perpetual
absolutely
the Sanyaku. But I see like Yoshino Fuji no Kawa.
You think other people right now who can also fill that role?
Oh,
kind of
sure.
like
I see
perpetual Sanyaku filler.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
exactly what I'm kind of trying to get at. And it's like, I don't know, like I guess when I think of a Yoshino Fuji, like he had a little bit of an off Basho this time, but there's still a little bit of spunk in like some of these people that I kind of believe a little bit more.
Fuji no Kawa.
Fuji no Kawa too.
You brought him up. I honestly would have the opposite take for him. I think he's a lot of fun right now. He seems to me the kind of guy that is going to bash himself into a rock and break himself sooner rather than later.
Fuji no Kawa, I think, is going to suffer from Midori Fuji-itis and Ho-itis. They get up here and like they can have fun for a Basho or two, and then reality is
booted down.
Gonna hit them pretty hard, unfortunately, with their size. I hope not. Love Fuji no Kawa. Love to see him keep this going. I'm absolutely shocked that he got an 8-7. Shocked in the best way that he got 8-7
Yes.
record.
But of the people of Atami Fuji's contemporaries, though, other guys that might be vying for these spots here, to bring it back to where Flair was going, I think Oho would be in that conversation as well. He's at least an upper joy kind of guy recently. But I don't know. To me,
Ryan with the head shake.
I think Yoshino Fuji might be the guy that he and Atami Fuji might kind of be side by side, and they don't have to fight each other either. So that's a plus.
Yeah. Oh, they're in the same.
Yeah, aren't they both Isegahama?
Yep, all of our Fujis.
All of the
Names
not the
ending
pre-Fujis.
with Fuji, not names
Dang, you're
beginning
right.
with Fuji.
Are the pre-Fujis? That's what stable is that? Fujishima.
Fujishima for Fuji Seiyun and Fuji Ryoga. Fuji no Kawa is in like Issei no Umi or
Issei
something
no
like
Umi.
that.
Yep. Okay, so that one's just coincidence then.
Yeah.
But I think you're right about the Fujinokawa. I probably misspoke there. Although he's getting a little bit of a gut, so I think he's getting a little bit of a size. I think he might be a little bit bigger, but I agree. Like it's his style of sumo is definitely hard to kind of keep that going. So,
Fujinokawa also just turned 21 years old.
Yeah, he is a baby. But
he's
I
also
see
he's also probably my favorite Rikshi right now, just because of that Henko with Abi. It was fantastic.
I think I don't know. Quote me on this in a year when it makes no sense, but like I think he's following the Hirodoumi track. I think he is the exciting lightning fast guy that's like doing pretty well. And Hirodoumi, I don't know, maybe he's in that conversation with Atami Fuji. Maybe he's going to be one of this up and coming generation's like Joy mainstays. But he got bigger as he stuck around in the top ranks here, and that has kind of mellowed out his results and made his sumo a little bit less captivating to watch. So I don't know if getting bigger will be a good thing for Fujinokawa if that is the case, but it could just kind of mellow him out and take away the parts that are fun to watch about him. Or maybe it is good for him. Like Hoshoryu has bulked up a lot over the last couple of years, and that has helped him win more.
Not according to Chairman Hikaku.
Yeah, well, Chairman Hikaku, yeah, okay.
But ultimately, yeah, I agree. I think my big takeaway I was going to try to say was that I believe some other people around him are going to be that person instead. But I think actually,
We'll see.
now that we actually break it down, I think he might have a little bit of a chance, but overall, nah. Sorry, dude.
That's the thesis statement, yeah.
The thesis statement is nah. He doesn't have that dog. Not enough dog.
If he had that dog, he would have gotten that 10th win and won the special prize against Takayasu.
He's got one of the dog in him is like one of those huge lazy sheepdogs that like lays on the top of the hill.
Oh, the Saint Bernards.
Yeah, the one that like scares away the wolves by just like being there, being big, as opposed to the one that's actually like doing the fighting or whatever.
Yeah.
Pyrenees, that's the one I was looking for.
Oh, Pyrenees.
I'll pretend I know what that is. At Maegashira 1, we weren't done with our Kyujos. We had Wakataka Kage had to pull out. He won his match on day 13 against Ichi
Abi.
Yamamoto.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, sorry, Abi. Yeah, it was Abi. I was looking at the schedule wrong.
I have it written down because it looked like they both hurt themselves that match.
Yeah, Abi just kind of like collapsed, if I'm recalling that properly. And then Wakataka Kage comes out of it holding his right arm. There was talk prior to the Basho, Wakataka Kage wasn't doing a whole lot of training, and they were talking about like a right arm injury, and it seems like that kind of flared up or got re-injured here. So he pulled out on day 14, and the medical certificate that he handed in said that he had a suspected injury to the attachment point of the right triceps brachii and an injury to the medial collateral ligament of the right elbow, requiring 6 weeks rest, which I will note for Migori Fuji's heart failure required 4 weeks. So
and Abi's broken spinal bone required 1 week.
Yes. So that's not looking great for Wakataka Kage. That treatment and rest is going to take him right up to the time to get ready for the next Basho. So it lines up with being able to compete in the next Basho, but what state will he be in? He will be in the Sanyaku ranks next time, as he did pick up an 8-7 record for Maegashira 1. But I am concerned about what state Wakataka Kage will be in next Basho.
Yeah, it's the the attachment point. I think for like muscle tears, like you have like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and like grade 2 is where like you like tear it so bad like you have a bruise or so, like you got definitely some blood there, but I know grade 3 is where like the muscle actually falls off, like the attachment point of it actually detaches from the bone or like, wherever that is, and it sounds like that is similar. So maybe you're on the grade 3 of a muscle tear, which is pretty intense. So hopefully not too bad on that.
And also on Kyujo news, Onokatsu, after securing one win by throwing his hair at Oshoma's hand,
Oh, yeah.
he would pull out once again on day 9. So he fought on day 1, went Kyujo on day 2, came back day 5, and then went Kyujo again on day 9. His overall 1-14 record from Maegashira 6 likely sends him down to Juryo. So Onokatsu just not having any luck with that ankle this Basho. We had a couple of newcomers to the top division that are new over the past couple of Basho that both got 10-5 records. We had Fuji Seiyun get 10-5 in his debut Basho, but also Asahakuryu went 10-5 in his second Basho in the top division. Just watching these guys this Basho with similar records, do we have any more faith in the future of one more than the other?
Honestly, these guys were, neither of them are all that flashy. You know, they didn't have like crazy matches or anything. They just stuck with it. Both guys seemed kind of like meat and potatoes, just winning more than losing. I don't know. I like Fuji Seiyun because I feel like he had a ton of just like moving forward, winning properly. You know, like it wasn't he wasn't recovering or reversing things at the last second all that often. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not super high on either of these guys because they just made it to the top division and they're already at 27, 28. So even if they did have like, you know, a corner turning in their sumo style, I don't think either of these guys are going to be world beaters. But I don't know. It's still nice to see newcomers do well, and they're at least going to be around for a few more Basho because of it.
Well, to your point, what you were saying, like with Fuji Seiyun, I think he looked the more dominant between the two. I liked how it like you said, meat and potatoes. He pushed going forward. It looked like he was actually more in control and dominant with that. So between these two, I have higher hopes for Fuji Seiyun.
Yeah, I'm with Jake. I'm not gonna make a call one way or the other.
Oh, come on.
I think we end up with probably Chura no Umi type coming in a little bit later in their career. I don't think they're gonna end up at like the Wakamoto Haru track where it's just like, oh, you're just like a perennial Sanyaku guy somehow, even though you debuted at 28 years old.
Yeah.
So I think closer to like Chura no Umi. I think the three ends are Wakamoto Haru at the high end, Chura no Umi at the mid end, Shishi at the low end for coming in like 27 or later and sticking around in the top division. I guess the other end of that is just dropping back down to Juryo and never seeing them again.
Yep. It is, 10 years into following the sport, it is kind of tough to be like, at what point do I dedicate specific mental energy to remembering this guy making their debut, you know? And I'll admit, Asahakuryu, that drawer in the filing cabinet is not very full.
Yeah.
that is not a lot in my Asahakuryu file that is being saved right now. So we'll see.
Shishi's fine. You leave him alone.
Shishi's fine. Shishi's fine. He's here. There's at least 2 or 3 folders in that filing cabinet drawer for me.
Most of them are Max screaming for no reason.
Quite a few of them, yeah. Actually.
And that just shows my love and support.
Anybody else in the top division that we want to make note of? As I'm looking at the Bansuke, Asanoyama 8-7 from Maegashira 12. Jake's point of just like I just don't see it happening in a big way for him that he made on the midway. Kind of ringing true after 2 Bashos back in the top division.
Stupid Chiyoshima. Okay, 10-5. I don't know how you pulled that off.
That was surprising.
Well done. No,
Yeah.
I have to give props where they're due. well done. You got your 10 and 5. You showed some real veteran energy with how you handled a lot of your matches. I was expecting more jumping and Henkas. Maybe those knees are finally shot enough where it's like, oh, I can't Henka anymore. Maybe I should actually do some real sumo here. And you did it. 10 and 5. Bravo.
I think he got one classic Chiyoshima Henka attempt in there. But yeah, when I was looking at like the records on the final day, there's like a bunch of 10 and 5s this time. It's like Gonoyama, yep, knew about that. Fuji Seiyun, yep. Asahakuryu, knew about that. And then you get to Chiyoshima, and like, when the hell did Chiyoshima find time to win 10 matches?
Right? Yeah.
I have no recollection of this.
Yeah, that's Asahakuryu for me.
Anybody else that anybody wants to discuss on this Bonds K?
Koto Shoho, have we even talked about him at all?
No.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay.
Yusho winner and Jun Yusho winner, Koto Shoho. This isn't even his first Jun Yusho.
Nope.
All right. I will say, actually, in this boss show, I'm starting to believe in him a little bit. Because he looked pretty. His matches looked pretty good. He was passing the eye test for me, and like a Jun Yusho is like definitely not an easy thing to do. So I think at the very least he might start getting some Sanyaku staying time in the future.
Well, he went 3-12 last time he got bumped up to Maegashira 5. And, well, actually, this time he's at Maegashira 5. So yeah, maybe that's a good sign of progress that he did well again at the rank that previously kicked his ass real bad. But yeah, where Bonsuke wise, Ryan, do you think he's going to be Komusubi, Maegashira 1, somewhere in there?
It's
you don't have to commit to it. I'm just asking.
No,
I guess.
no. It's Sekiwake or Komusubi.
Oh yeah, okay.
With how it's because there's two openings at Sekiwake with Takayasu going down and Kirishima going up. Atami Fuji clearly has one of those, but then by the math, Koto Shoho deserves to be the next highest ranked. So it could be Koto Shoho at Sekiwake, or do they want to put Wakataka Kage, who went 8 and 7 from Maegashira 1, who I think by the math deserves to be the next highest ranked? Do they bump Wakataka Kage ahead of Koto Shoho? Right now I'm leaning Sekiwake Koto Shoho.
I guess one of the reasons I bring it up is that Komusubi and Maegashira 1 get all of the hard matchups immediately. And that could just shatter Koto Shoho if he is not legit. I feel like we will know very quickly in the next Basho.
Yeah, I'm not using this Basho as like I think Koto Shoho is legit. He had 3 matches against Sanyaku Rikshi where he went 1 and 2 in those matchups. Did he never fight Kirishima? How did they manage to avoid each other? That's nuts. But yeah, I just, especially if he's going to be in the Sanyaku, I just don't see.
He's improving. He's improving.
I mean, he is, but well, no, he's not. He went 13 and 2, won a Yusho last year, only getting 11 wins this time. What the hell's wrong with him?
What a scrub. He could also just kind of be one of those guys that just pops off like crazy for no predictable reason. Like Aoyama is exactly who I was going to bring up. Like once a year, he would get 11 wins or so and do nothing with it. And he had a handful of Jun Yusho in his career, a perfectly serviceable, good record of a career. But like, I don't know. I legit do not know what it would take for Koto Shoho to make me a believer in him, because it's not this. The bar is definitely still a little bit higher.
Yeah, I think I would have more faith in Koto Shoho if he had more dominant style of his wins, but a lot of it was just kind of keep his opponent at bay, sidestep, push him out, or sidestep, slap him down, which it worked, clearly worked for him very well. This Basho, I just question how well that's going to work when he's facing a full slate of Sanyaku matchups. Anybody else we want to talk about before we talk about the lower division Yusho winners? All right, so we'll talk about our Juryo Yusho winner is Dewa Noryu. He is 25 years old. This is his first career Juryo Yusho win, his second career Yusho win overall. He did win it down in Jonidan. This is not going to be enough for him to make it into the top division. He went 11-4 from Juryo 10, but a good second performance in Juryo for Dewa Noryu, so he could be somebody that we're seeing up in the top division sooner rather than later. He beat Wakanosho, who was the Juryo Yusho winner last Basho in a playoff.
One other thing I looked up in Juryo, there is only one remaining Sekitori that does not have a losing record. That is Kazuma.
Okay.
Okay.
I was trying to see if
to avoid the curse.
Yep. I was just looking it up when we were talking about that before. Kazuma asterisk did sit out for 4 Basho. His 2nd through 5th Basho, he was absent. I don't think those count as Makikoshi, and well, I mean, it depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah, no, I think that
if we're talking record books, he's probably not in it. But if we're talking in-ring performance, he's never had a Makikoshi.
Well, then how do we count Onosato, who showed up, went 0-3, but he pulled out before he had a chance to go 0-8?
Get out of here! No, that one absolutely counts. That's completely different.
Okay, fair enough. In Makushita, we have Waka no Fuji is our Yusho winner there. He was a Makushita Tsukedashi last Basho, where he made his debut with a 6-1, follows it up with a 7-0 this time. So he is going to be in the top end of Makushita next Basho with a real chance of being promoted to Juryo. And then down in Sandanme, fan favorite.
Can I interrupt real quick one more time? Because the Makushita Yusho has one other super hot storyline to it. Enho went 5-2 from Makushita 4.
Yes.
So
he
will
be up in Juryo.
How certain are you of that?
Fairly.
Okay, got it. There are a couple guys ahead of him in the promotion rankings. He went 5-2 from Makushita 4, but Hakuyozan went 5-2 from Makushita 2. Okaryu went 6-1 from Makushita 2. Tochi Taikai went 4-3 from Makushita 1. Enho is probably like the 4th guy in line, I think.
Enho's 4th in line, but Koto Kuzan is going down, Fuji Tensai is going down, Tsurugisho is going down, and Shimazu Umi is going down.
There you go. Yep. So yeah, looks pretty optimistic, because Enho needs that one singular Basho as a Sekitori that he can then get a Kabu and stay in the sumo world as a coach when he retires, which will hopefully be instantly after next Basho. for his sake, I hope that that's the case.
Enho is a sneaky 31 years old.
Hey, he's been 23 for the last 10 years now, right?
We haven't seen him in the top division. When was the last time we saw him in the top division?
Oh, pre-pandemic.
I'm gonna say 2022.
Flerick, what do you say?
Pre-pandemic. I'll go with.
November 2020 was the last time I had Enho in the top division. It's crazy.
Long time.
That's a long time for us to be carrying this torch for a guy that's been in the lower divisions. But every single one of us who was a sumo fan in November 2020 has been rooting for him this entire time.
Yep.
We baby Enho. How we loved you so.
Man, we were only like 6 months into recording remotely at that point.
Yeah.
All right. Our Sandanme Yusho winner is fan favorite Nabatame, picking up his first lower division Yusho. He was in Juryo for about a year before he got injured. He missed 3 consecutive Basho that dropped him down to Sandanme. This was the second Sandanme Basho, picking up the Yusho at 7-0. Down in Jonidan, it's future Yokozuna Asahi Fuji going
the blue chip prospect,
going 7-0 again, and once again winning in a playoff on day 15. So technically 16-0, but only 14 of those count towards the record book. But it doesn't really matter because he's won all of them. Asahi Fuji just rocketing up the Bansuke like we all expect. And in Jonokuchi, we had a 3-way playoff. We had 3 Rikishi that were 6-1, and the winner of this one is Aaron, who is 23 years old. He's been in sumo since 2021. He has dipped his toes in Makushita, where he was before he had an injury that kept him out for basically 4 entire basho. That dropped him down to Jonokuchi.
Speaking of lower divisions, I made the mistake of looking up how old some people are. There are now people in professional sumo who were born as late as November of 2010.
Holy
Oh.
Yeah.
Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta
I looked
do
it
that?
up. You got to know if I got to know.
Oh.
That's how it works. Gross.
All right, Jake, why don't you tell people a little bit more about Chiki Sumo?
If you want to learn more about Chiki Sumo, you can rewind about an hour and a half of this. No, I just wanted to make sure that we mentioned it again before we go to break real quick here. But yeah, Chiki Sumo is the official GSB clothing vendor now. Go to chikisumo.com to find our t-shirt designs. There will be more stuff added over the course of our time with them. But right now we've got our 3 major t-shirt designs on there available in a variety of colors. Go check them out. We are a few minutes away from sending one of those Chiki Sumo t-shirts for free to a bold prediction winner. But they are sumo fans first that got into the clothing business second. They're not somebody that we just we also use Redbubble for some like other merch and stuff, but that's just because they're easy and they just make stuff work. They're not we don't use Redbubble because we know them or anything like that. Chiki Sumo has been diehard sumo fans that have gotten into this business. We obviously are wearing their shirts right now. They're good stuff, and we are happy to have them partner with us on t-shirts. So go check out chikisumo.com. Plenty of pro sumo and amateur sumo merch on there. And even you can see behind me, I got a baby onesie that is still too big for my baby, but it's hanging up there. So I remember that it's there when she gets a little bigger. So yeah, good stuff. Chikisumo.com.
All right, and with that, we will take a break, and we'll be back with GSB Belt?
Yes.
Okay, GSB Belt.
I remember this time.
You're listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the world's #1 sumo podcast, according to 3 out of 4 hosts of Grand Sumo Breakdown. Keep an eye out for our preview, midway, and recap podcasts for every professional sumo tournament, and a host of bonus episodes in between. Help support us by joining our Patreon and spreading the word about our show. Every penny we raise is reinvested in improving our podcast. We also help run amateur sumo events and produce the American Sumo newsletter, which you can find on our website, grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com. Reach out to us on social media if there's anything you'd like to learn about sumo, or if you'd like to try it yourself.
Welcome back. We're going to talk about the GSB belt that nobody forgot about ever, for sure, on the last episode. So the GSB winner's belt, I think it's time to retire this one, but
Where'd it go?
we're going to start it over again, just because that's fun to do. But it was very silly. It ended up on Oshoma, who went 6-9 from Maegashira 7. So it's just going to end up in like...
up on Oshoma.
Oh.
Yeah. God damn it. It hit Wakamoto Haru for a minute.
Oh no!
So it started on Tobizaru, who started at, what was he, Maegashira 13?
13.
Yeah.
13. He lost to Asakoryu. Let's see, Asakoryu lost to Fuji Seiyun, who lost to Kinbozan, who lost to Fuji Chiyoshima, who lost back to Fuji Seiyun. So like it was just stumbling around in this purgatory down there where Tobizaru lost, I think, 4 separate times for the belt. Fuji Seiyun lost it a couple times. Fuji Seiyun lost to Takanosho, so now we're like, ooh, is the winner's belt going to move back up? Who lost to Wakamoto Haru? That would have been perfect if Wakamoto Haru kept it and then got demoted right back down to like Maegashira 13 or wherever Tobizaru started. But then Oshoma beat Wakamoto Haru, so yeah, it's going to end up, right around Maegashira 10 to 13, somewhere in there, whatever. Just silly, but not really all that interesting.
Yeah.
Now, the loser's belt, the one that we are going to keep going because this one still hasn't made its way down to the very bottom, is going to take a big old jump down. So we are good shape on this one. That started on Asao Bora, who was Jonidan 26. Bounced around a little bit to the confusingly named Tochi Hayate, not Toki Hayate. But then ended up on Yamada, who was Jonidan 76. So that's 50 ranks lower. And that guy went 0-7. So we are going way down. So excellent progress on that one. We're going to keep that one moving. We'll see where Yamada ends up next, Basho.
I think we just have to end it next time because it's just going to end up on an 0-7 Rikishi in the lowest division.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got to see it through.
Yeah. But I think next Basho is the ending point of the loser's belt.
Watch, we just cursed it.
I'm not positive it's possible to be the dead last on the Bansuke because that's like where they put new people.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. I would love to learn a little bit more about the super low Bansuke, but if it goes 0-7 on a Jonokuchi guy, yeah, we win. We did it.
The last guy in Jonokuchi this Basho was, somebody that was in Amazumo. The previous, he had been in like Jonokuchi, Jonidan, but he had been off long enough that he went to Amazumo and came back. There is another guy that's below some Amazumo guys, who went 0-7 previously and was ranked below some Amazumo debutant. So yeah, we can get pretty close to the bottom. We'll see how that ends up. All right.
We did have some, real quick, we did have some cool names down there. I mentioned Tochi Hayate. We also got one of my new favorites, Tsurugi Fuji.
Tsurugi Fuji?
Fuji. Yep.
Fuji.
Tsurugi
Okay,
Fuji. That one, that's a tongue twister for me because I want to say Tsurugisho. That's the only place I've seen that starting before.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Asahabataki went 3-4. He had a losing record.
Ryan's new favorite guy.
He's going to be sticking around in Jonidan for a little bit.
Bummer.
Yeah. Let's get to my favorite part of the episodes when I win. I won.
But
I won one of the most pathetic champ chump competitions that we've ever had on this channel. My winning score was 19 points, which was good enough for me to win by 6 over Mac, who had 13. My champ was Fuji Ryoga, who went 7 and 8, but you know what? I did have a great chump, who was Churanu Umi, went 4 and 11. My chump got 6 more points than my chump got 12 points, which was 6 more points than anybody else's chump, and somehow 14 more points than Flarrick's chump. Notice I only got 12 out of my chump, and I scored 14 more points than Flarrick did. But Jake, I don't know why you're laughing so much, because Flarrick still beat you.
Sure did. Okay, let me put it this way. We had 8 picks. Only 2 of them were even correct on Makekoshi versus Kachikoshi.
right?
3 of the 4 champs that we picked went Makekoshi. And 3 of the 4 chumps that we picked went Kachikoshi. We literally would have had better scores if we picked the opposite of everyone that we picked. If I picked Koto Eho instead of Ono Sato and then Wakamoto Haru, if I just switched those, I would have had a higher score, and I think I would have beaten some of you guys. And if, Flarrick, if you would have picked Fujinokawa as your champ and Hoshoryu as your chump, I think that might have gotten you more points because you would have had a lot of bonus points.
It would have been close. It would have definitely been close. Oh,
yeah.
Fujinokawa. The fact that, like, the thing that got me were the Kimboshis and then the special prize with the icing on top of -2. And I think
negative
it's to
3
say something
for each of those.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, it's one year. If your chump starts getting Kimboshis,
And you had Hoshoryu.
We punished that hard.
You had a good champ pick.
They were.
It worked out. But I should be furious with Fujinokawa, but that's just to say how good of that Henka he had against Abi. That I just love this guy so much.
You really lucked out by this being the dog shittest pick of all time for our group because. Yeah,
was
you
it?
picked the only champ who had a Kachikoshi, and Ryan picked the only chump who had a losing record. Just unbelievable to me.
Was this like our absolute worst?
Somehow, no.
No.
Just so very barely. Our first time that we did our Chump predictions in this format was in January of 2020. Who shocked the
for
world
God's sakes.
and won the U show in January of 2020?
Is that the Tokushoryu one?
It all
was
comes back to Tokushoryu.
Let's go.
He's the Harambe of the sumo universe, where like things started going off the rails.
And like the scores are like very similar, but to our current Basho, but just slightly worse for the January one. Me and Mac tied for the win with 18 points instead of 19 points. We both had good champs. Like Asanoyama and Takakeisho got us 10 and 11 points respectively. And then our chumps were Daisho and Oki no Umi, who got us 8 and 7 points respectively.
Okay, decent.
So they lot more respectable, I think, than the current group. But then Jake, once again, was the loser of that one, having the historically low score of 3 points in that Basho, with his champ Mitaki Yumi getting him 7 points and his chump Shodai losing only twice.
Was that his Ozeki run?
That was no. It was just like a random 13-2. It might have been part of the Ozeki run, but it was a 13-2 where he got a special prize in a June U show, and you ended up with -4 points from Shodai. So we got
that was the beginning of
close.
his Ozeki run. Well, I mean, it was, yeah, he went 11, 13, 8, 11, 13, and got promoted. So, like, yeah, technically that was not his Ozeki run.
Yep.
Wow, that's nuts. I suck at this.
Yeah, you do.
All right, well, what punishment do I get to do then, Yokozuna Ryan?
Well, I was thinking about how I haven't done my punishment yet.
I was also
is-
thinking about that, yeah.
Yeah, which is the
Do you want me to do a stand-up routine and do a better one than you?
It's no, God no. That's just gonna make me not do it even more. But I'm going to blame myself. Obviously, I only have myself to blame for why it hasn't happened. But part of the blame is my punishment last time was Taskmaster, which put a lot of the onus on me to create the tasks, and I went a little overboard and like the envelope. I did more than I needed to. And
It was great.
That took up all of the mental time and energy that I have staved off for Sumo to prepare that, and not my stand-up comedy
The thing you were
routine.
already obligated to do? Yeah.
Correct. So I'm avoiding that. So I'm not doing anything for this punishment.
Something that makes me work. Okay, good.
Yeah, we'll go back to the well. One of our better punishments of all time was the Lord of the Rings movie punishment that Jake did. And so I figured, why fix what ain't broke? Let's go back to the well. Let's have Jake do a movie scene. Let's have it be Lord of the Rings. Let's have it be the Gollum Smeagol conversation. My only caveat is, Jake, no guest voice actors.
Oh,
It's
no.
all Jake.
Oh, hold on.
It's all Jake.
At least the
Dang it.
Smeagol part, right?
And the Gollum part.
Okay.
I'm just going to do completely deadpan regular voice for both guys.
Which one's which? Which one's which?
I'll leave the topic up to you. Let
You
your
don't have to
creativity
make any
fly.
extra rules because you know that I can't half-ass it. Like,
Yes.
That's also super easy to do by video. I'll just like mirror the same shot.
See, I knew you'd put the effort into it.
All
I know
right,
this is
all
going to
right,
be a
all
good
right.
one. But yeah,
Okay, okay.
that's my one rule. You have to play both parts, which are already the same person. And it's just got to be something sumo related. I will leave it up to you.
Okay, sounds good.
And for you, it's like 7 minutes shorter than the other thing. It's only like 2.5, 3 minutes long.
Yeah, and yeah, how many guests did I have for that? There were like 12
many?
speaking roles in that
Yeah.
one 10-minute
The Council of Elrond.
All right. So while Jake starts brainstorming what he is going to be doing there, let's go to our bold predictions. And as always, we'll start with our bad bold predictions. And unfortunately, a very popular bad bold prediction was that Aonishiki would win the U show and get promoted to Yokozuna. That the people that fell victim to that were Nate, Venom Hawk, Wata, Akakyoryu, True Fred, Sagita, and probably some more,
including the GSB hosts. Well, at least this one over here. It's like,
me too. But I didn't put it down in writing in this part, so we can ignore that. More specific bad predictions. We have, of course, Wata. He predicted verbatim, this is what he said: I predict Fuji Seiyun will be punished for being promoted above Amagashira with a winning record by getting absolutely stomped on this Basho. I don't just mean a bad record. He will look almost comically inept at his rank. Memes will be made in his dishonor. And so Fuji Seiyun's walking away with a special prize this Basho.
Yeah, Wata, you got to send a t-shirt back.
Yep. Yeah, you got to send a t-shirt now.
I know you have one.
Yep. And then another bad one comes from True Fred. He said, Kirishima is healthy, but sucks. 5 and 10.
Ooh.
Ura gets a special prize. Fujiryoga gets 10 wins against the lower ranks. Takayasu takes advantage of his fellow Sekiwake's absorption of the Takanosho vibes, challenging for the Yusho only to choke on day 15, falling out of a potential playoff, earning another Jun Yusho.
Now that's a Takayasu fan right there. That's a
Absolutely.
Takayasu fan.
And in true Takayasu fashion, still got let down.
Yep. Some good predictions that they had some right, but just not quite as good as the winner. Captain Smartass with always showed I will finish between 1 and 14 wins. As always, that was correct. But also mentioned that we will be participating in the annual tradition of dunking on Jake at the end of the Basho for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons.
Did you see your Chump team this Basho, Jake?
Oh, I see. Is that what he was picking it based on? Okay.
Don't know, but he said for obvious reasons, and that's pretty obvious to me.
I don't feel like the reasons are that obvious. I mean, it's far more than annual that I get dunked on. That's not the issue.
We also
Do I always suck in March or something? I don't know.
honestly don't know, but it worked out.
Is this a
pretty
new
well.
thing I need to be insecure
I
about?
say, wait a minute. Let's look back at the history on this.
Highest Marshal predicted Aonishiki not getting promoted yet, but Kirishima will be promoted to Ozeki.
right.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Wax predicted Kirishima gets Ozeki and Fuji Seiyun gets Kachikoshi. And Kori Taranis predicted Asanoyama, Asakoryu, and Asahakuryu will all get in the range of 7 to 10 wins. We had Asakoryu get 8, I believe, Asanoyama get 8, and Asahakuryu get 10.
Yeah.
Koto Sakura will not get 8 and 7.
Mm.
And one of the HOA breaks the regulation bout round robin and beats someone they normally lose to.
That's
got
pretty good.
Hoshoryu
Going for the
over-
volume approach.
Yep. And then our winner is Venom Hawk. He got Kirishima goes 12 and 3 and finally gets back to Ozeki. Asanoyama continues to struggle and barely gets his Kachikoshi at 8 and 7. It's the
Bullseye.
specificity of the exact correct records that gets you the win, Venom Hawk. We will contact you shortly to get your information so we could send you a brand new t-shirt from Cheeky Sumo.
That's right. I was looking this up. This will be our 34th t-shirt giveaway.
Hey, all right.
It's a lot of t-shirts.
It's a lot of t-shirts.
All right,
We can almost clothe the entire Makuuchi division with those.
Yeah, we can. Just need a little bit more than a year.
They got
What's
to
great-
stretch a little bit.
I love seeing them in the wild, so display them proudly.
Wait, that's
Uh-oh,
does
Ryan's
that
doing a
line
thing.
up almost exactly with like by the time our 10-year anniversary comes around, we'll have given away 42 t-shirts, enough to clothe the entirety of the top division.
Ooh.
Maybe.
It's like really close.
That is really close.
It's
All right, we're going
stupid
to hold
and
back on a
pointless,
few
but-
t-shirts if we need to. A few of you just won't get one unless it lines up right.
Yeah. Let's move on to the GSB Awards, and the most obvious Hanka that wasn't award goes to Asakoryu. Asakoryu was up against Gonoyama on day 10. This was when Gonoyama was still absolutely on fire, just being shot out of a cannon out of every match. And we all know Asakoryu has a penchant for doing some Hankas, maybe quite a few during a Basho. And I knew exactly what was going to happen going into that match. Everybody knew what Asakoryu was planning to do in that match. Unfortunately for him, his Hanka was called a Mata, and the
Yeah.
surprise was ruined, so he ended up losing in a straight-up match, because you can't, after you get caught in a Hanka with a Mata, you can't really go back to the Hanka the next time.
You've been planning that all day long. You can't just come up
Yeah.
with a new plan in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And the I'm not Takayasu and that ain't gonna work on me award goes to Haku no Fuji for sniffing out exactly what Ura was planning on doing when Ura was clearly setting him up for a Tsutaizori back throw, whatever those are called. And instead of being thrown by that incredibly embarrassing maneuver to fall forward, let alone twice in your career, he kicks out Ura's legs and sends Ura to the ground, knowing exactly what Ura's going to do and preventing it from happening to him.
How does Takayasu keep falling for that one? I don't get that one.
It seems so easy to counteract. Just watch Hakuno. He kicked him probably with the bad toe, too.
I guess. Oh, that's right. I put this one on the utterly unnecessary award. After, well, actually, after our first award, maybe it was a little bit necessary. But Kodo Shoho versus Asakoryu on day 15. You don't need to Henka, man. You guys both have your Kachikoshi. I think
Kodo Shoho wanted
though,
the special prize. He needed to win to get his Fighting Spirit prize and the Juryo
getting a
show.
Henka to get the Fighting Spirit prize. I take it back. That's way too funny not to do.
Absolutely.
I hadn't thought of the irony.
Yeah, no, I missed that one too. I forgot it was a conditional. That's incredible. I take it back. This is the insanely necessary award.
Now that we're talking about special prizes again, for the Inu Show award, how do we judge Henkas? Do you have dog in you if you're Henkaing, or
I'd
is
say
that
it
showing
reduces
a lack
dog
of
quantity.
Okay, I agree.
I don't agree with that. I think having that mental space and knowing like, okay, like, yeah, I want to win. So here's what I'm going to do. Are you stupid enough to fall for it?
I don't know.
What
Because I think.
says
Go ahead.
what says I want to win at all costs other than pulling out
The
Henka
Henka.
on day 15?
I don't know. I think if you are Asakoryu and you Henka Gonoyama, that shows fear to me. But if you are Kodo Shoho and you Henka Asakoryu, that shows one, an incredible sense of humor. But two, you didn't have to do that.
See, he got that
man.
dog.
Also, I didn't come up with a name for it, and I forgot to write it down, but Mitaki Yumi versus Ura doing like the dip, like he was going to go for a big romantic kiss at the end, and then Mitaki Yumi just kind of drops him. That was awesome. Ura was doing just Ura things. Or I'm sorry, that was day 14. Ura was doing Ura things and ended up horizontal with his back to the facing the ground like a foot up and just holding on to Mitaki Yumi, who was just like, no, man, and just let go of him. It seriously looked like they were going for a dip kiss. It was awesome.
Before we go through our nominees for Match of the Basho, I want to give a big shout out to the Cowpuncher on our Discord server for every Basho compiling the clips of all of the matches that people nominate for Match of the Basho. There's usually like 2, 3, or 4 every single day. People going up and down the divisions for cool things that have happened. So big shout out to the Cowpuncher for gathering all of those clips for us. Our nominees for Match of the Basho: Day 3, Koto Sakura versus Chura no Umi. Day 3, Kirishima versus Atami Fuji. Day 6, Takayasu versus Wakataka Kage. Day 8, Kirishima versus Takayasu. Day 10, Hakuno Fuji versus Ura. And day 13, Kirishima versus Oho. And we are really bad at being consistent on what we agree as a podcast makes the best match. So we're split. Luckily, it's not a freaking 4-way tie like we had in the
that's
last
true.
show. It's just a 2-way tie this time, with myself and Mac voting for the Kirishima versus Takayasu match on day 8 as Match of the Basho, and Fleric and Jake agreeing that it's Kirishima versus Oho on day 13, the Yusho clinching match for Kirishima as it would turn out. So our co-match of the Bashos, Kirishima versus Takayasu and Kirishima versus Oho.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Kirishima.
Oh, I was going to say the pattern is Takayasu loses, but it's incredible.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm trying to go positive on this one, Jake.
That pattern has lasted for years.
Yeah, it has. All right, and then it's not the greatest Basho, but we have to have some favorite moment of the Basho. And as I'm talking slower, trying to think about what my favorite moment of the Basho was, let me throw it to Tsukebito Jake to have to go first and say what his favorite moment of the tournament was.
We mentioned earlier that this Basho was kind of like a gut punch. I would kind of push back on that because I feel like a gut punch implies that it's a moment, whereas I think that this Basho was just a long, slow gut punch. Like, I don't know,
Just a series of punches over and over again, or kicks as you're curled up in the fetal position on the ground.
And that was the case for one guy more than almost anyone, and that's Wakamoto Haru, who just kept on losing despite all that dog, except for day 9, when he absolutely blasts an Uchari, like just thunderous, coolest move ever.
His signature move.
Just out of all the individual matches, the individual moments, that one made me yell louder than anything else. So that was that. Everything else just kind of slowly happened, and that was that.
What about you, Fleric? What was your favorite moment of the Basho?
I guess I'm gonna just, at least for me, push back that it was kind of maybe a little bit of a downer of a Basho because we didn't get what we expected to get. But what we got, I thought, was actually pretty good. Like the whole Kirishima to OZEKI, once that started becoming like something real, was awesome. Anyway, but long story short, there was actually a lot of just really fun moments and like matches that I really, really enjoyed. Like the match of the Basho, like for me was Kirishima Oho. Just my notes have Oho, more like oh damn. It was sick, and that was like the match that also just secured the OZEKI promotion right there. There was a lot of really fun stuff. The Hoshoryu winning winning his match against Aonishiki, even though there's probably asterisks and stuff. I love seeing some progress on that, but I think it's just probably it's gonna be the match of the Basho for me. Just when he clinched that, winning the OZEKI rank, and most likely the Basho shortly after. It was just great, fantastic. I loved it so much.
What about you, Mac?
Bittersweet because I still wanted Aonishiki to do well on this, but I really liked the Hoshoryu match. I loved seeing him finally put a little dirt on Aonishiki, breaking our rock paper scissors rule. But I guess Onosato being out, disqualifies the HOA. Sorry, we're out.
when you don't have the rock, then the whole paper scissors dynamic gets thrown off, and anything can happen.
Exactly.
Dogs and cats living together, absolute madness.
So that was mine. It's like, okay, all right, you finally put a little dirt on him. Will he do it again? Depends if he trains.
Yeah, it depends if he trains.
I think favorite moment for me this Basho, I want to say like, oh yeah, Kirishima getting like the 12 wins and getting promoted to OZEKI, and I do love that. But it's just so much of that is soured in. Well, he had to beat Aonishiki to do it, and God, that hurts. And he had to beat Hoshoryu to do it, and God, that hurts too. So honestly, my favorite part of the Basho, we had 2 match of the Basho candidates on day 3, Kotozakura versus Churano Umi and Kirishima versus Atami Fuji. Those were just back-to-back beautiful Sakue Nage throws that I just absolutely loved. And so those back-to-back matches with those beautiful throws, I love that. That was my favorite 2 matches back-to-back in the Basho, and so that's my favorite moment of the Basho.
On the other hand, day 11, we had back-to-back Henkas, and one of the guys messed it up. Takayumi blew it, and then Fujinokawa got Abi. So, yeah both kind of satisfying. No, I think I might be swayed a little bit. Yes, the Wakamoto Haru move was great, but like if we look back on this Basho in a year, I think the 2 most consequential things will be Kirishima's promoted, and Aonishiki versus Hoshoryu went the opposite way. I think those will be the big ones. So yeah, maybe it makes more sense to look at that final match of the entire Basho, go in the opposite direction. Maybe that should be the better moment.
See, I wasn't happy about that either, because honestly, I was kind of
you're not happy about it, but to me, it's
this
but
is
you
favorite moment
it.
of the Basho.
Oh, you're right. Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, so sorry to be a downer on this one. Like we've been coming off of like banger after banger after banger. Honestly, like we had the Onosato 13-2 playoff win over Hoshoryu, Aonishiki playoff win over Hoshoryu, Aonishiki playoff win over Atami Fuji. Like big high profile, like all the top guys doing top guy things and just great matches. And then we just this one's just a lot of a downer. A lot of the top guys not doing top guy things, being hurt and not here, and just yeah, a lot of disappointment with this one. So sorry for if you really enjoyed this one and we were down on it, but our poor narratives, and it just hurts when our narratives
Think of the storylines.
take a 2-month
true.
break and we have to pick them back up in 2 more months.
Yeah, there's some sadness, but I do think that we didn't get the narratives we thought we were gonna get, but I think we still got some pretty good ones.
Getting
And, like,
Kirishima Ozeki. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
yeah, and also I was trying to think where I was. Okay, but yeah, so we got what we said, but the one storyline that's just brewing and brewing, and I just cannot wait until we get the final little thing is Hoshoryu. He gets another Jinyu show. He gets close once again, but he doesn't quite get it. And oh my god, when he gets his first show as a Yokozuna, I'm gonna just pop off so much.
And Chairman Hakaku will finally shut up.
Chairman Akaku's
It's gonna
going
be
to retire.
Well, hey, on the plus side, 2 years, that's going to happen no matter what.
Hey, that's true.
Yeah,
And
So
it does look
we-
like he is going to be voted as chairman unanimously once again.
It's
Okay,
awesome. Super happy. Great. Wonderful.
get out.
he's
Well,
gonna
yeah,
retire.
No,
soonish, right?
he's fine. He's fine. He's
2
fine.
years. Yep.
2 more years.
He's
2 years?
63.
63. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, to Flair's point, we might not have gotten the narratives we were wanting or hoping for. Our Nishiki Yusho promotion, the HOA battling for the top again. But Kirishima, Yusho, and Ozeki promotion is a pretty good consolation prize.
It'll do.
It'll do.
So we got a lot of question marks heading into the next Basho, the Natsu Basho, which will be starting on Mother's Day, as it does every year on Sunday, May 10th. So that is the next time that we have real live sumo action to look forward to. And I've got nothing else. So Mac, take us home.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time, throw your salt high and keep moving forward.
Wheat.
Did you say sweet or wheat?
I think he said wheat.
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 Sweet.
This is all staying in, by the way.
I was about to say, it's still recording.